So you don't get girls. But don't stress, Dr. Robert Cialdini wrote in his book that when something is hard to find, we want it more. This is called the scarcity principle. We see this a lot when companies sell things. It's like how some very rich people would rather have a unique but slow car than a super fast car that lots of people have. It's also why some people think that the nice guys finish last. It's not because girls don't like nice guys, it's because nice guys are always there. But the ones who aren't so nice seem harder to get, so they seem more interesting. But the secret is, you don't have to be a jerk to be seen as special. A nice fella who doesn't make himself too available can be really attractive because it's so unusual. By following Dr. Cialdini's idea of scarcity, being a decent but not always available fella could make you way more appealing than the average jerk. Imagine you're at a party and there's a girl you like, but she's surrounded by a bunch of guys trying to impress her. You might think you don't have a chance, but actually you do. Here's the game plan. Walk over to where she is, but instead of stopping, just walk past her and her group of orbiters. As you walk by, look at her and say hi in a friendly way, then keep going and talk to a friend. Bonus points if she's a girl. By just saying hi and then doing your own thing, it's like you're wearing a special edition sign. You're not just hanging around like those other guys. You're somebody interesting who might not be around forever. The gain-loss theory is like the next step from the scarcity principle we talked about. It helps us understand why sometimes people who are always nice don't seem to get as much attention. There was a smart experiment where college students had meetings and then heard the person running the meeting say something about them. Either something good, something bad, a bad comment that turned good, or a good comment that turned bad. Later, these students said they liked the person more if they first heard something bad that turned into something good. This means we feel special if we can change someone's bad opinion of us to a good one, more than if they liked us the whole time. But if you're trying to show a girl that she's changed your mind about her, you have to be careful. You don't want to seem mean. A gentle way to do it is by using the way you talk and your body language. Also, it's really important to make sure she knows you've changed your mind about her. If she thinks you still don't like her, she won't want to hang out with you, and that's a big problem. Next up is something called proximity, which basically means how close you are to someone. Before, I mentioned you should not always be available, but being physically close is still important. There was this study with students living in dorms at MIT. They found that if someone lived right next to you, there was a 41% chance you'd become close friends. But if they lived 4 doors down, the chance dropped to 10%. This means you need to be near the girl you like. But it's not just about being in the same place, it's also about how often you see each other. For example, seeing a girl for 10 minutes every day is better than seeing her for 1 hour once a week. If you're not naturally around her, you might need to find ways to be around more, like changing your way to class to pass by her or joining a club she's in. But remember, it's super important to keep it cool and not be creepy. There's a big difference between finding ways to be around someone and stalking them. Let's say you're doing a good job being around her and she's starting to notice you in a good way. The next question is, how do you keep her thinking positively about you? Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers, was really good at making friends because he often asked people for help. You might think asking for favors would annoy people because it's like giving them extra work, but it's actually the opposite. There was an experiment in 1971 where some college students had to do a task with wooden cubes and patterns, and the people running the test, who were also part of the experiment without knowing it, had to either say nice things or not so nice things to the students doing the task. Later, they had to say how much they liked the students. Turns out, the students who were treated nicely were liked more than the ones who weren't. This shows that when you do something nice for someone, you end up liking them more. So, if you want a girl to like you, you should give her chances to do nice things for you. You can ask her for small favors like what time it is, to pick up a pencil you accidentally dropped near her, or help you with a project. These small things can make her see you in a better light. But remember, all the advice won't help if you disregard this next, but possibly most important truth. In 1997, 2 researchers, Morian and Bloom, did a study with college students. They showed 117 students 76 pictures of people and asked them to say how good-looking they found each person and how they felt about them. What they found was pretty interesting. The things that made someone attractive weren't the things you're born with, like eye color or height. Instead, it was stuff like standing up straight, taking good care of yourself, wearing clothes that fit well, looking happy, and being a healthy size. So what this means is that being attractive isn't all about what you're born with. If you exercise, stand tall, take care of your hygiene, dress nicely, and smile, you're more likely to make a good impression. Just remember, no matter what else you do, if you don't take care of how you look and act, it's going to be hard to make a good impression. It's like, if you don't try to look and feel your best, you might not get the attention you're hoping for. Believe it or not, who we like isn't just about looks or personality, but also about something called genetic compatibility. Let's talk about how our bodies help us figure out who we might be good matches with beyond what we can see or think. First, our noses play a big role in this. They can pick up on special scents called pheromones, which give off signals about someone's physical and genetic traits. These scents can make us feel a certain way towards someone without us even knowing why. But there's a twist for girls. Their noses are not just good at smelling pheromones, they're also tuned to pick up on something called MHC molecules. These are part of our immune system and they help us fight off sickness. A cool study found that women tend to like the smell of men whose MHC molecules are different from their own. This is nature's way of making sure kids get a good mix of genes, especially for a strong immune system. However, guys don't have this special ability to detect MHC differences, which means even if everything else seems perfect, a girl might not feel that spark if your immune system genes are too similar to hers. The second big thing that matters is the first kiss. This isn't just a romantic moment, it's a super complex way our bodies check if we're a good match, through the taste and smell of the kiss. It's so important that a lot of women say a bad first kiss can make them lose interest in someone. But if the kiss goes well, it can make your heart race, your pupils get bigger, and give you a burst of energy. So fellas, if you nail that first kiss, you're in.